Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on playlist of advanced topics in Python, and today what we are going to do is that we will see file handling. So file handling comes very handy in Python, as you know, when making some real life projects. This thing actually very helps, and this is one of those topics that usually people don't study, but just to see even an overview of this topic would help you guys a lot. So hope you guys enjoy this video, and without any further ado, let's just get started. Alright, so what we are going to see first is a syntax. So syntax is pretty simple. We define a variable, or in this case we call it file handler, and then we say open it, open a file name, and then we provide open mode, and then we provide buffering. Buffering we will see in the next video. So first let's just see what are open modes. So as you know that any file has permissions, and we need permission to read that, write that, or even to append data. So we open the file with write access, we can write in it. If we open it with only read access, we can only see the contents, and if we go with the append, we can add new things as well as read only the new stuff. There are some more things like write plus, read plus, a plus, as well as x, where x provides us with all the features and all the permissions that are required. So let's just write our first program, and that is going to be f is equals to open myfiles.txt. Like no such file exists. You can see that there is nothing like myfiles.txt, and what we are giving permission, as we are saying that you can write on this file. Alright, and then we are providing a string, and the string says, hey, this is my testing file. And then there we are having f.write. What thing to write? We have to write string, and then just close the file. Remember, closing a file is a very important thing, and while making this video I actually spent like 1 hour just debugging, and after that I realized that I was not able to close this properly. So make sure you guys close this and pay extra attention to it. So let's just run this program line by line, and for the time being let's just remove the variable part. And yep, our server, our Jupyter server has initialized. Now file will be created. Just file should be created, myfiles.txt. here you can see that, and after that f.write string and f.close. Alright, so yep, we can see that there is one thing there, and this file has, hey, this is my testing file, as we just told it to. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to read from that. So to just make sure that we are using the same file, what we can do is that we can just copy it, and then we can just paste it. So we are giving it read only access this time, so nothing messes up. And then what we are saying string, which will be storing all the part that is there in our file, and then we will print it, and then we will close the file again, because closing actually plays a very important role. Why it plays a very important role is because that if a file is already open in our Jupyter kernels, and if we go to our open the file locally, then we won't be able to edit it, or there might be some crashes of that file specifically. So that is why it is always recommended to use f.close, and if you are not closing it properly, then your program will definitely crash. So let's just run this program and see, hey, this is my testing file. And for the time being, let me clear all the output as well. So here we are having f is equals to we are creating another file called myfile.txt. No, sorry, not another file, but what we are saying that append it, and we are just providing a plus. That means it can perform as well as all the things that are above append. That means it can read as well, it can write as well. So we are printing enter text, and to exit enter at the rate. We will just first run this, and let me explain this to you. So alright, what will happen now is that we just got our line printed out, and now we are in a while loop, which will check that whenever we enter at the rate, it will make sure that we exit this while loop. So we are having an input string, which will be asked us here. So I will say, hi, my name is Tanishka. I just put the enter, and then now it will check that does this line contains @? No, it doesn't contains @. So what will happen now is that this will be written in that file, and what we are going to do now is that go again into that while loop, and at this time I will just simply enter @ to exit this while loop. So yep, see it just is going to check the condition, and it just thrown us out of this while statement, and now even inside that. So we are going to use f.seek 0,0. We will see what seek and peek, I believe. Yep, that is what it is called. Peek functions are at the end of this video, so for the time being let it be. And now what is happening, we are just printing the file has, and then we will read all the document or the text that is there, and then we will print it. All right, so the file has, now it will read it, and now it will print it. See, this is my testing file, and it says, hi, my name is Tanishka. Now we'll just close it. Now we have also closed it. Now what we are going to do is that we will check that whether a file exists or not, because it is very handy to see that if a file is already there, and if there is no file, what we can do is that we can just simply say that make a file first before creating, before using this file, and specific conditions can be said that if there is no file, first create it, and even just to validate stuff, it can be used. So instead of running this program first, let's just see it, and then we will run it as a cell. So we are importing operating system and system. So what this will do is that it will we will be able to use all the command prompts and system commands in our Python environment itself. So we are having fname, input the file name. All right, it is having a typo, sorry, now it is gone, and it is asking us that if os.path is file. So now what is going to happen is that it will just check the file is there in that operating system path where this program is running, and if there is, then it will open the file with read permissions, and then it will it will show its component by reading the file and then printing the string, and then it will close the file. Else what it will do, it will just say that the file name does not exist, and it will do system.exit. So let's just run this file and check that is there something called text.txt. Text.txt. Is there nothing? Oh, there is nothing. See, system exit. This is something that is used in our PowerShell and our command prompt. So we just created a file called myfile.txt. So let's just search that now. myfile.txt. Sorry, another typo. Yep. The file components are, hey, this is my testing file, hi, my name is Tanishka, and alright, so I messed up. This was the error that I was talking about, and what I did, I just said f.close. I did not mention f.parentheses to close it. So every time now I will open this file or try to open another file, it will show me an error. So let me show you another way around, because closing is just a mess for me. So the other way in is called with statement. It has no closing part. So what we can say that with open test.txt. Let me just check that. Yep, is there isn't test.txt. So it will write it first that I am a file and Python is good. So let's just run this and go here and see. Now there is a file called test.txt, and I am a file and Python is good. These both things are true. So let's just skip that. And how much easy it is to read this, and for with file, with open, file name, with read permissions as f, for line in f, print lines. What this will do is that it will, instead of every time calling the line read function and then storing it, what it will do, it will start printing line by line as well. So these are also another advantage of with function, with keyword that we are actually using. This is not a function, so using with it would be better to call it a keyword. Now what we are having is that we are going to see Pickle. So what Pickle do is that it serializes the data and converts it into a byte stream using dump. So what it actually do is that there are two types of files. One is called text file and another is called binary files. So text file basically have text and they are very easy to keep track of that. Hey, you wrote this and after that you wrote another line. So some sort of versioning is very easy, whereas coming to files like an image and a JPEG or a PNG, there are some specific changes. Like imagine there is my picture in a yellow t-shirt and there is another same picture in my green t-shirt. So there will be something called a binary file regarding it. So what Python do or what any other logical thing do is that it reads all the changes in its binary. So it will see that is there anything that has been changed. So it just realizes yes, it has been changed, because nothing can actually see our image because computer only understands zeros and one. So binary is basically those zeros and one representation of my image. So for this program, what we are doing, we are defining a class called emp, and then we are saying constructor which has self.id, self.name, self.salary, and after that what is happening is all the things are getting stored in this part, self.id, self.name, self.sal. And what is this part actually doing? So 5 digits, id will have 5 digits, and self.name string will have length of 20, and what self.salary will have, it will have 10 digits in front of decimal, 2 digits after decimal, and it will be a float. So this is what we are specifying in this particular print function. We are formatting it this way. So let's run this part first. And now what we are going to do is that we are going to import Pickle. So Pickle, after that we will open our file called emp.dat, and with wb. What does b stands for? Binary. And what does w stands for? Right axis. So we are specifying that this is a binary file, not to look for text changes, look for binary changes. And after that what is gonna happen, we are going to just ask our user that how many employees are there, and for n is equals to whatever the number is, that many times loop will run. We will get. So yep, there was an error in this file, specifically line. We have to use pickle.dump in order to dump all those things, where e is basically our whatever data is being stored in form of a class, and f is we are specifying that where to put it. We have to put it inside this file which is being referred as f. So let's just run this as well. So it is asking us that how many employees are there. Let me just say there are 2 employees, and it is asking me for employee ID 1, and what's the name. Let me write my own name, Tanishka. All right, I just misspelled it. Yup. All right, again. So tan, much better. And what's the salary? Let's just not count zeros. I'm seriously not gonna count those zeros. And now another person ID 2, and this time I will write my name correctly. Yup, thank you so much for writing my own name correctly, and it will have again salary that much. So we just saw that nothing got printed, but let's just go and see what our emp.dat is. So it is a binary file, and you just see what is all of this data. We cannot read this simply because we are opening it as a text file. So what let's just do is that go to our file handling part again, and let's just print this. So for printing this, we have to first open it, and how we will open it? With read binary specifications or permissions, and after that we will say print employee details, and while true, what will happen? Object.pickle.loadf, whatever the file is, and then it will pass it to object.display. What is object.display going to do? It is going to print it like this, and we are going to accept an error, that is EOF. What does EOF stands for? It stands for end of file error. That means file has ended, and it will print the end of file reached, and it will break, and then f.close will be there. So let's just run this program as well, and here you can see that employee.details got printed as 1, and the first was Tan, yeah, this much, and the Tanishka this much, and then the end of file was reached. So you just saw very literally a very basic versioning tool that can be created using Python, something like Git, but though Git is like god in its own stream, so definitely not Git, but something like a very basic version controlling system of your cell phone. I would love to make its project. Maybe sometime soon I will try to make it. What else we can do? Now we are going to see what seek and tell are. You remember we just used them a little bit before. So we are having a file called intro.txt, and what are we doing? We are saying that write plus binary as f, and then what we are doing, what this is just a binary string function. We are defining it as a binary string function. So what will happen, f dot write, and we are specifying this to be a binary string. So what a binary string will do is that it will take all of, let me just copy this and paste it here so that I can tell you guys. So what will happen, that t will have 0 index, then it will have, e will have 1 index, c will have second index, h will have third index, and the fourth index will have a space, and fifth will be w. So what is actually happening here is that there is something called a pointer in our file that is specifying that the file has actually ended, and what you need to do now is that just end the string up. So let me just find what is the length of this so that I can show you guys in a much better format. So length of tech with Tanishk, I need to specify this as a string. Let's just run this. C18. So if I need to append anything else, so the pointer needs to be at position 18 so that it can enter new files. So what will I do? I will just first ask my program to tell me where my f pointer is. So running this program line by line. Okay, another error. Intro.txt, no such file intro.txt. So instead of doing that, we just create intro.txt. We just created a file, and now what we are going to do is that we are going to run this program line by line, and then it is going to write tech with Tanishk, and it is going to tell us where our pointer is. So where it should be at 18, because after this anything new can be entered. We can also do one thing. We can say f.seek 3. That means we are specifying it to go to the third index. And what is third index? It is 0th index t. Alright, it is probably h. So what is seek.h gonna tell us? Let's just return this, and after that we will say tell us what is there at where you are. That means what we are doing, we are first specifying our pointer to go to the third index, and then we are asking that return your position. So let's just run this. Our expected output is 3, and let's just run this. See, it just returned us 3. So that means it is working correctly. Let me also do this one thing, f dot instead of tell, f dot read. So I won't be passing a parameter, just to check a little bit of a condition. So it is telling us h with Tanishk. All the other output is just being shown there. Whatever value is there after our pointer, so we are getting that. What else we can do? We can also specify negative index, and also provide this external parameter for that. And let me just show this as well to you, and f dot read as well to do that, and no parameters will be passed in f dot read. So what it will do, it will just go to the -6th index, that is supposed to be probably n, this n to be more precise. Let's just run this, and the expected output is Nishk instead of Tanishk. Only Nishk part will be printed. So let's just run this, and Nishk is, and this b, don't get worried about this b. This is just specifying it as a binary string, nothing else. What a binary string is, it is basically that where every alphabet is having its own index and it is being stored as an individual. So that's it about this video. In the next video we will continue to see more about binary files and file handling in Python. Hope you guys like this video, and I actually enjoyed making this video a lot. It took me like 5 tries to complete this video because there was some mess happening behind the scenes in the video, so that's why. Thank you so very much. Until then, stay safe, keep coding. See you guys in the next video.